we got Gyökeres, and they're both struggling. But we all knew there was an offensive tax that had to be placed at the feet of
Yeah,
Mikel
but
Arteta.
you have to also look at Arteta and say, did you do absolutely everything in your power to make sure that those two players became like that? You changed your system enough for those two players. I think
No.
he kind of tried in the beginning and half-assed it, but as soon as there was a little bit of pressure, which was like immediately, he went back to the way that we usually play. And then we got injuries to his normal players, Saka and Odegaard out all the time. That hurt him. Kai Havertz out. And so he's trying to play the old way that he would play with Kai Havertz and Odegaard with Eze and Gyökeres. I know that we didn't sign Eze to the very end, but he never really leaned into, if you don't pass the ball to Gyökeres, you're coming out. He never did that, not one time. I was like, you should be telling every single one of those players, if you don't try to get that ball to Gyökeres, I'm taking you off. I don't care if it's in the 20th minute. I don't care. We never really lent into it. So now it's like the attack is weird. The players that he would normally rely upon, which is, it started to become abundantly clear that he cannot, the attack cannot attack without Kai Havertz, which is ridiculous. If he doesn't have Kai Havertz and a fit Odegaard and a fit Saka, it's bones.
Yeah,
it's bones. He can't make Eze work or Gyökeres work. And I know that maybe with Gyökeres, he may not be at the tip top level, but I refuse to believe that he's as bad as no shots yesterday. That's not on him.
And exactly, and that's a common theme. You've got a service-reliant striker, service. You slap Gyökeres in a couple of other Premier League teams, you might feel the same way, but he'd score a lot more goals. So he really understanding these players. At best, the only things I've seen differently, as Jess just said there, when Kai was back, him and Gyökeres, we got a bit of a tune out of it. Fair enough, 2 games in a row, I've seen Bukayo. And that's where I get pissed off with the gaffer, game management. Wigan, I would have said at best, he would have got 45 minutes in the second half against Wigan, probably half an hour. Cool. There was an injury to Calafiori, who's back now, obviously. He got 45. I thought he would have got an hour against Wolves. You didn't take him off. Timber looked knackered. Zubi looked knackered. Between Martinelli and Madueke, more so Martinelli, who I actually think started the game quite well for half an hour and then went off a cliff. It's slow. It's reactive. Why is Trossard not starting? Fair enough. I'm not privy to anything around injury.
It was shocking that Trossard did not start yesterday.
Why?
Because we've already established that Martinelli is not a starter in this team in the Premier League.
Exactly.
But he went back to the worst version of our front three and said that's going to work. He does not prioritize chemistry or profiles that fit together, or even just simple. Martinelli starts the Champions League. Trossard starts the Prem. Why is it? What was it? Martinelli's finish against fucking Wigan enough for you to start him against Wolves? Like, he makes the weirdest fucking choices.
But Jess, this is where I don't get mad at the players. As much as I hold them accountable, and some will understand, some will accuse me of being a bit hypocritical. We're trying to win the Premier League. We're trying to get over to certain lands. We know what we think about Noni. Fair enough, he's just signed. We know our frustrations around Trossard. We know our frustrations about Gyökeres. We know our frustrations, and we've been here with Martinelli. This is like building your house on the sand. Cool, these mammals, like on paper, you actually look in all comps. These men have scored goals. When you look beneath the hood, he's got 1 goal. Now, Nelly has to hold his hand up and say, what am I doing? But it's like what we said last week and the week before. You slap all of these players and their goal scoring records. They're not collectively doing it in the Prem. What is going on? So you either fucking get to high levels defensively or you kill games. And the players, I see kids. Honestly, to the players, don't like just because I've gone heavy on Arteta, the players, I see pussy holes and I see kids. I see people who, I'm not going to be naive. I know you care, but you can't tell me you care when you play like that. You can't be 2 goals up and behave like that. You're meant to be one of the best defensive sides in Europe. At best, I should be bitching about, we won 2-1. There's cracks in the armor. You got the 3 points less than me. I don't believe you deserve to win a Premier League title if you cannot win that game. Now you have to beat Chelsea. You have to beat Spurs. You have to beat Brighton.
And when's the last time that we've done that? When's the last time that we got to this stage? I remember in the 21-22 season, we got to this stage because we had messed up so much that we needed to beat Tottenham away from home and also Newcastle away from home to make it into the top 5. And guess what we did? Or top 4. We lost both.
Right, that was dark. That was a dark period. Yellow kits. Because I remember Spurs bought some players in January, and that was the Vlahovic January, I'm sure.
It was dark. This is what I'm saying. People are like, it's not over, but it's like they've never gotten to the stage where they have to go somewhere and win after they messed up at easier grounds and actually done it. So fuck them. Like, they need to actually start proving that they can do it. I'm so tired of people blaming the fans for not having faith. The fans had lots of faith in the first 2
Don't
years.
come to the
And
parade if you don't believe. Shut the fuck
yeah,
up,
I don't.
man.
So are
Please.
the Arsenal fans the reason why they couldn't do anything against Wolves? Like, come on, man.
And the
Like,
away fans support the thing heavy. So what am I talking about? And Sadiq, you're right. Arteta always speaks about fine margins, but for the last 3 years, I've said why are we never on the right side of fine margins? Because you look at PSG statistically, we're actually not out of it. You look at it yesterday, we probably should have won. You look at the United game, we probably should have, just by the data, we should have got something. Why are we not on the right side of the margins? Why? Because data is half the job. The eye test is the other. The players are not street smart enough. Arteta is not pivoting enough. We have this Arsenal thing about shooting ourselves in the foot. And unfortunately, if it goes the way I think it is, I don't know where we go because 4 years in a row, second, things need to change, whether it gets better or worse. Like there needs to be a new voice or something of that ilk. And you know what the saddest thing is? You shot yourselves in the foot. City took last season off. They're by no means amazing. They're back again. You lot are making, you lot are being handed a Premier League indirectly. You lot are being handed one, like you have to try really hard not to win this Premier League trophy.
I mean, Slot won his gimme Premier League.
See what
He
I'm saying?
won his, but Arteta can't win his. And like, I get it that yes, the players need to take responsibility, but the risk averse way that Arsenal play does not lend itself to players that are not elite. Like when you have a team that doesn't have a lot of elite players, you need to maximize those margins as much as possible by playing a style that is going to allow them to get into those positions more often and let them relax. Arteta's got them in a situation where the players that he would need to have is like a prime AC Milan team. Like everybody is world class, so that if you get one chance, it's going to be one goal because you got Kaká on your team.
Like the Haalands and all of them, Kevins and all of them
Yeah,
when they're in their pump. Which you're not going to get. He's too
like
spoiled,
he has
man. Fuck
this.
that. Make it work.
Yeah, I get it. They need to take responsibility for their performances. But you'd be lying to say that you think that this style of play and the risk-averse nature of it is lending itself to a title-winning team. You would need much better players for that.
And you know what's so funny, Jess? Because people forget, winning a league, it's also about how good are you at your worst. We ain't seen us at our best. Have you seen us at our worst? Shit.
Yeah, I love this team, and I think that they could win a title, but the way that we're going now, it's like even difficult. Like I get that. Like, so what do we do? I don't really know because we should have fixed this a long time ago. Like we've slowly kind of just went into this crash that was kind of the rupture started in like late December. So I don't know what you do because all I know them to do is at this point implode, allow City to get in front of them, and then they'll relax again.
And that's unacceptable.
Arteta probably, I don't know if Arteta thinks we're fine and they're just not performing and living up to it, but he hasn't really changed shit at all. He's doubled down on everything that's not been great so far. Bad fullback pairings. Why? What has White done to you? I need to, because why aren't they asking those questions in the press conference? What has White done to you?
Because you lose your media access. You're not going to answer questions that actually matter.
Timber into the ground. What has Norgard done? Why can't they play? Why do you hate them? Genuinely, I need to know.
Because them man can by nature, like one's Norgard is not, he can pass the ball, but he's not known for what he can do in the final third. White's a right back. They're conservative players. So as I can understand, Eze, this and that, bring them on. You're running man into the ground. You have ran men into the ground. You cannot stand in the rain and complain while you're wet. You either get an umbrella, you find shelter, or you fucking look at the weather and don't go out. We're doing neither of that. And Arteta, I give you, there's so much things to praise you about. There's so many things. I remember when I sat here with Jess in August, and I said, I like his tactics. He's gone toe-to-toe with them and they in Europe. He's made the big decisions. He has shown big bollocks to take this job and take us to where we can. But you're a good manager. Are you a winning manager? We are now in winning mode. You're not doing that. And in the same way, Wenger built the house. Maybe you've painted it. Maybe a next man comes in and keyword turns it from being a house to a home. Everything needs to be up to date. Because I thought we came into this season knowing the gloves are off. We have to get over the line. People on social media are drawing out Burton now, but you was all sucking him off for the 8 players. Oh my God, Gyökeres, we got the one we wanted. Eze, this and that. The players have to take responsibility. The gaffer's got it all. It's all there. And I know he knows this. Unpopular opinion. I don't think Arteta is a dickhead. I think you don't want to change these things for whatever reason. So I'm onto you more. If I thought you was like Amarin and you're out of your depth, you're just mad, I would allow you. You deserve this. And even just because you mentioned Wolves at home, yeah, like the way he spoke, the way the players spoke, if you wanted to be complacent and you wanted to think about the North London derby, Wolves ain't the game for that. You've got lived experiences. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say.
Arteta can't change things because he's so scared. Like, he thinks that this style, because it limits the amount that you lose, is better than changing to a style that maybe the margins don't go in your favor, but you could potentially win more. He's scared shitless. And my problem with this now is that he's taken us to a certain point. And I think we're all on the same page that if he were to not win a major trophy this season, he would need to go. But I feel like even the reason why he feels so comfortable not change is because he knows he's not going to go. I feel like if you're scared for your job, you'd be changing things all the time. You would be, taking more risk. You would be dropping players that aren't playing well. But it just kind of feels as though
you'd be attacking your own principles as well.
Yeah, he's like, this is fine. And when we were not playing well against like Wolves at home, but we won, I just feel like the overall message should be, yeah, we won, but that wasn't good enough. But it just always feels like there's this, and maybe it's just front facing. It's okay because we won. They said that Arteta said they had a beautiful meeting after United beat us at home. Is this the product of a beautiful meeting? No more beautiful meetings. No more, if you can't win, don't lose. It is unacceptable to play the way that we've been playing pretty much since the middle of December. It's been unacceptable to me. I'm sorry. Like, it just is. It's unacceptable. And unfortunately, because there's so many people that just accept the fact that we're not losing, it makes it good, but it's just not.
Both are lies,
and I'm not even talking about playing Arsene Wenger aesthetics football. It's not really about that, but I would do anything to go back to at least what the fuck we were doing in 23-24. That team does not drop points to Wolves. They were putting their bodies on the line. They were getting those clean sheets. They were emptying stadiums at this point. And maybe it was a little bit of them. They were chasing City, so the pressure was kind of off of them. But this iteration sucks.
Do you know what it is for me, Jess? You're bang on the money. It fucking sucks. Do you know what it is for me? They call you bottlers, and shit, they might be right. And I'm gonna bring up a screenshot because I want your thoughts. But before I expand, I'm gonna say Arsenal. I actually don't think you're bottlers. They call you bottlers. They say you can't get over the line. They're very critical. Nobody rates, and I'm not talking about Arsenal fans, but nobody rates our players. No one rates the gaffer. You've proven them right at the moment, and you've proven them right in the last 2 years. So coming into this year, I know there's going to be highs and lows. There's going to be times where you lose your confidence. You're not just going to go up there, but be a bit fearless. If you know people don't rate you, and this is what I've been maintaining on TalkSport, on ITV, on YouTube, on anywhere, I'm not seeing that. And now I look like a dickhead because now it's my fault because I put my belief in you. I thought you lot were built for something that you're not. You man are good youths. You're a good team. You're never going to be a great team because you don't have that nastiness. You don't have that drive. I'm sure you're trying. I'm not accusing you of that. But I have to take the lazy view as a fan. I'm not at London Coley. It's not my business what you lot are talking about. As just said, that beautiful meeting, that's your business. My job is to be a decent human being. Are we playing on Wednesday? Whatever. The weekend, do your job. And you're giving it away cheaply. I would still be vexed if you lost to Wolves and take nothing away from Wolves. Mm-hmm. But if I went bloody hell, you gave everything. It just weren't our day. It is what it is. Too often than not, that's not the case. Man United were great at the Emirates by their own things. But again, shooting yourselves in the foot. Where's the game management? I look around this squad, probably an average age of 26. You're all capped by your countries. You're not little boys. Lewis Skelly can't get a look in. 1 year he's shipped off on loan. Dalman, obviously, he's young. You're grown men. And that should drive you because the discipline, you need to have discipline. Discipline hurts in life, but it hurts a lot less than regret. And you lot are going to have to sit there in May, You're going to have to sit there in May. I don't know for this.
Martinelli was doing the 2-1 to their fans. They caught him on camera doing that shit. And at the end of the game,
make sure you win.
He couldn't even, it's just, yesterday was just horrendous. Like it genuinely was. They showed their ass. Like they really did. They were so shit. And they showed such a horrendous, it's like when somebody shows you like a version of themselves, like
Believe them.
you just cannot, it just sticks with you. And I feel like that was so bad because it wasn't even like you could say, well, it was a good Brentford team. The level of performance was genuinely so bad that I look at so many of them, including the players that I really rate, so differently after that performance.
They're good youths, man. They're good youths. They're nice guys. And even you,
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, yeah. If I park off what I feel about you, because I actually like you, Arteta. If I isolate you from Arsenal, yeah, I actually like a lot about you. But in your own evolution, we hear a lot about he doesn't like superstars and attitudes and that. It don't matter what manager you are. The ones at Real Madrid, Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson, you're going to have to learn to deal with difficult characters, which when we're doing our analysts and our stuff around recruitment, I don't really care if they're married or if they're virgin. Are they cunts on a football pitch? Bring them to the club. That's what we need. Also, you look at, I remember I wanted Ryan Cherky. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, he's not an Arteta player. It working for Pep. He's had to do something. Haaland the same. You've been given everything. It's a bit spoiled. And big up JT. Like GD is dropping in it. Like we're doing the data thing too much. It's jarring.
I mean,
did want to ask you about
your eye
Ryan,
test
but
can
go
tell
on.
you that though. Your
Pardon
eye
me?
test can tell you that this team is not as good as the 23-24 team. They're not. They're not. They're way worse. They're not emptying stadiums. They can't beat anybody except for Leeds badly. They can't. Going life and death at home with Wolves. Life and death with Wolves.
Twice.
Can't beat Nottingham Forest, who hadn't won a game in like 11 games. Life and death. That team beat City at home, by the way.
And we don't smell blood, man. That's the thing. We
Like
never smell blood. And you know what annoys me? Yeah, you don't have to do much. I know every fan base will say this, but when you deep it, you don't have to do much to beat Arsenal. Everybody can be lazy and tell me about Szoboszlai's free kick against Liverpool, which it was great. Anyone who was genuinely watching that game and saw it, you could tell shit needed to be changed before Zubimendi gave away that free kick. Manchester City capitalized on us going to sleep and then obviously defended relatively well in the second half. We was probably only fearless because we was chasing the game. At Sunderland, didn't have to do much to get points off us. Aston Villa did not have to do much to get points off us. Brentford, the lack of street smartness. You're giving throw-ins away in dangerous areas. You put your hand in fire, you're going to get burnt. And there's plenty of other examples. Manchester United, when you concede the first goal, you should say, okay, let's fix up. When you make it 2-2, cool, let's fix up. It's a great goal from Cunha. Arteta's changes have actually stopped us in that regards. And what annoys me is we're in the ugly part of the season. You need Kai, you need Marino, but I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't, because it happens to everyone. We've got a couple questions, Jess, man. Realistically, which games do you see us winning for the remainder of this season?
I don't know. I don't. Because this version of Arsenal can literally drop points to anyone. We've seen it. So.
All right, let's do it like this. Do we beat Spurs? Well, Spurs win, lose, draw. Where you at?
We're dropping points. Sorry.
Yeah, win, lose,
we probably won't lose, but we'll drop points.
I'll go for a W there. Chelsea.
Probably draw.
I'll go with a draw there. Brighton away.
Draw.
Loss. All right, Mansfield, we think we're going to win. Respectfully to Mansfield. Everton away. Everton at home, apologies.
We'll win that game.
I'm going to go draw. Cup final, everything crossed. Areola's men, Bournemouth at home.
Tough game. Probably draw.
Nick a win. I'll give it them. Nick a win. It wouldn't surprise me if they draw, but Nick a win. City away. Which, assuming we won all of these games, it probably come down to that.
We'll need to win that game. Based on my calculation, we'll need to win that game.
And that's why I have no hope.
Not. So it's giving a draw.
Loss for me. Newcastle at home.
I'm trying not to think of like the worst case scenario.
Oh, man, just however
we
you
usually have the worst case
just
scenario. Oddly, they might beat us at home.
I'd imagine with pressures off at that point, we probably would have accepted that, City have won the league. So I'm going to give them the W in it there. Fulham at home.
We'll win that game.
Yeah, win. West Ham away.
We'll win that game.
I'll go with a W. Burnley at home.
We'll win that game.
And the last day of the season against Crystal Palace.
We'll win that game.
I'll go with that as well. So that answers your question. We got another one. Do you think you'll be challenging for the league again next season? How long can Arsenal stay at second plateau before the fall off, assuming you were to finish second this May? We've already fallen off. If you look at the 4 years, it's God forbid, but assuming it's been 4 years, including this year, like Jess has been saying, we're nowhere near the 2022-23, and we weren't even expected there. The next year was definitely a lot better.
Listen.
Last year was probably the worst, admittedly, of the 4. So we've had 2 years, 2 good kind of years, 2 dead years. I still think we'll be up there, but I don't know
this is the problem with Arsenal is that something has to change. And the problem is we will, by the time they decide that, like, let's say we don't win the league, they will decide 3 or 4 years from now that it's time to move on from Mikel. When you need to move on from him now. If he doesn't win, you need to move on from him now. There's all these fans that believe that all our good players will leave if Mikel's not here. They fucking signed for Arsenal Football Club. Like, they're not going anywhere, So if you get a good manager that's better than him, you can salvage this group, because it's not that they're terrible. They're missing key things in attack that we keep missing every year. But the core of the team is still very, very good. And you have to change the manager.
Do you know what the saddest thing is? 98% of what Arteta is doing, I like it, and we need to keep it. The defending, all the stuff I'm moaning about, that added 10. Well, I said 90%. That 10% that gets us over the line. All the things we've been bitching about in the 57th minute, 57 minutes we've been here. He's not bringing it. So it's not that doubt. It's not as hard as people are making out. As much as I like Arteta, bro, you was working for Pep Guardiola when this club took a punt. So if you could take a punt on a coach, where fair enough, they might have been privy to info we don't necessarily know, the club have shown that they can be proactive in that regards. There's no way you can't have your cake and eat it, innit? And I hope to God we look back in May, Jess, and we're saying, you know what, Jess, we was moving mad the Wolves away, man. We thought it was all over, but it does look like the writing's on the wall. And there's been different players. He's been given money. Bert has come in. Contracts have been signed, as Jess said. At some point, you have to look at the gaffer. The good, the bad, and the ugly on the pitch is a reflection of the gaffer. And not only that, he's not a head coach like Liam Resner and them, man. He is so important. He's not that there's a big case study, but he's getting the power Wenger got. Like, genuinely, like you have such a say in everything. It sounds silly, but even things like the Emirates, remove the tunnel, which I'm with. With great power comes great responsibility,
Yeah,
Jarring.
For sure. And the other thing with Mikel that really scares me is that I think a lot of his inability to beat City to a title is because he's still in that respect mode. I don't like that Arteta just seems to have this inability to get over that. And I think we just need, if it doesn't work out this season, we need a manager that has no connection to City, so that they can just stand up and beat them. It's just too respectful. And I think a lot of Mikel's problems stem from him overthinking or over-respecting people. Playing 2 DMs against Wolves says kind of it all. And Hincapié and Timber. He thinks that every game is a toss-up because he makes it a toss-up. It's
you don't
crazy.
Change things quick enough.
Yeah, so love you, Mikel, but if you don't win it this season, you need to go. We need to move in a different direction. I need a manager that is not shit scared of Pep and City and just will get the attack going so that I don't have to watch life and death with every fucking team in the Prem. Because my God.
And what I would say to the players, if you really back Mikel, because you do, well, you tell us you do, you can't back him. You're letting him down. If you really back your manager, you don't fucking behave like this. Because it's all great to back a manager or fall into something when it's all working. If you really fuck with Arteta like you tell us, we could all think he's the worst thing since sliced bread. If you, man, genuinely believe in him, you don't perform how you've been performing, and you definitely don't perform like yesterday. Question is, where do we go from here? Is it too late to start doing changes? Because for me, the sign should have been addressed long ago. Unpopular opinion, I don't think Arteta leaves if we don't win silverware. So for me,
Right.
I've kind of checked out, bro. Like if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. In it, like
Oh,
it's my
next,
fault for believing
if
in you, man.
they keep him and he hasn't won, I am going to be just like I was during the Emery era. After his first season, I was very casual. I was like, until this team gets serious, I will not be serious about you. Casual, check the score. Did we win? Rewatch it. If not, fuck it. Because I cannot give time to somebody that does not care about my mental health. They don't give a shit about me. They don't care.
There's always
So
tomorrow. That's
yeah,
the
I
jarring thing
just
about this club, Jess. It's always tomorrow. Well,
yeah, and
individuals who speak, it's always
honestly,
tomorrow.
I could see a lot of people becoming extremely empathetic, or not empathetic, apathetic to this team if nothing changes after the season and we don't win. Sorry.
If you lot want to win, great. And you know what the saddest thing is? I only get excited around winning or negative, like if we was in relegation when I can see it. You lot have made us think, yo, it's not just a pipe dream, you know, dreaming about the Highbury days. You've been there. You're literally closer to getting over the line than going the other way. But if you lot don't want it enough, then it is what it is. T love for the super chat in the 87th minute. Why were players confused as to who's taking the corner? Them asking Hover who should take it is quite embarrassing. At them kind of moments, I get it. You have to listen to the gaffer. But that's where man need to stand up. Real Madrid, why did Rice score that free kick? Because he went off script. Players, you're big enough, you're old enough. Some of you are dads, you've all got big bollocks. Flex their muscles, bro. This is not little kids' business. It's not. Because the way I'm feeling, I want to start Dalman, somehow bring Ranieri back, start Miles Lewis Skelly, because no one else ain't doing nothing. What's going on? Joke, man.
Yeah, they're too focused on things that are just like, who cares? Just take the fucking corner. They took a corner at the end of the game that was a short fucking corner, and I thought they have completely lost the plot. You have all those big tall men in that team, and the thing that you decide to do is take a whack ass short corner. I'm sorry, but like, no. No.
See what I'm saying? What do you make of this? Arteta will be going straight to City if he leaves Arsenal. Careful what you wish for.
I don't care, because if you don't win anything for us, it doesn't matter if you win things with them.
Exactly. I don't care. Can we win it within the remit here?
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I really don't. I am not an Arteta, like, he's more important than the club. I need a manager that's going to win things. And at the very least, if you're not going to win things, don't make my fucking eyes bleed. Like, I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm tired, Mom. Yeah, and I agree with Razzle. City would not touch Arteta at this stage.
You reckon? Why not?
I just don't think that.
Slightly be on the shortlist. What if Pep left today and Arteta left his job? He wouldn't be on the shortlist.
I don't think so.
You reckon? If Maresca's there, surely.
Well, Maresca doesn't play this. I don't think he could go to City and play. He's too influenced by Moyes. I think people still think he's some child of Pep. That guy is the most. He has no arson except for the stubbornness he gets from Arsene. But he got nothing from Pep. He got everything from Moyes. No. I don't think so. Sorry.
Arteta, please, man, please. And if you're gonna leave, I know it's a dream, but bring me Luis Enrique.
And I just don't know how anybody can say that this is reactionary when it's been 5 years and he's not won anything since his first season. Like, that's a long time. A lot has changed in my life since Arteta has been manager. But nothing has changed with Arsenal.
He's gaslighting. That's gaslighting. T, I love you. You're one of the mods, but that is That's grade A gaslighting. That's all. For me, that's the men that come out here and say, don't be at the parade if you don't win the title. Like, anyone can fucking tell anybody anything. Like, no, I get it. The guy's a good manager. I'm not saying throw all the toys in the Premier.
Yeah, he is a good coach.
But fam, like, no, it don't mean you know more about ball because you're doing the maths thing. Like, it is what it is. It's just a difference of opinion.
And this is go ahead.
No, I was gonna bring up Rob's question. Without being too dramatic or reactionary, how much of this downfall is actually percentage-wise on the manager versus the player's performance on the pitch? I'm actually curious. What do you two think it is? It's 50-50 for me off the bat, bro, because the manager can take you there. He can't play in it, and I don't feel the players are street smartness. But then, kind of bringing it back to him, like yesterday, bro, you can see things, you can smell things. Now, granted, there's been times I want Arteta to change shit. And that might have been the wrong thing. But yesterday you could see it with Ben White. Well, Timber coming on, with Zubi coming off, with Saka needing to come off, Nelly needed to come off, Madueke needed to come off. I don't disagree with the Jesus sub, I'll be real. But yeah, that kind of way. And we keep saying these things.
Let me say it this way. I don't know if I can 100% give a percentage, but I think this exact team with a different manager could win the league. I think Arteta with a different team would have the same problems because he's had a different team almost every single year, except for the 23-24 season. He's gotten new players and he's repeating the same issues. He's misusing his squad. He can't figure out how to get the attack going. You know, it's just he has no players in form right now. You know, so from my perspective, it's like, yeah, if you gave this exact team to another manager, they could get us over the line in the state in which this league is right now, where you would just need to win maybe like 2 more games than you've won so far and glide on to the end. But he could get different players and still not be able to figure it out because he's overthinking fucking everything. So I think
even
he's more of the
talking
issue
about buying
now.
stuff in January, bro. You had the summer, bro. You had the summer. You never got a left winger. That's you man's fault. We're between Berta and that. You knew what time it was. We all knew we weren't signing no one in Jan. And let's be absolutely honest. Obviously, indirectly, we could say, oh, we never won that because we need this player and that player. When we dropped points against United, twice against Liverpool, against Nottingham Forest, against Aston Villa, against Sunderland, has anybody looked at that game and been like, oh my God, we need signings, we need this? No, the tools have been there. Like, why can't we just be honest, guys and girls?
Yeah,
why?
and he wanted Nani. So
you wanted that for 50 million.
Yeah, he likes players that he sees something in that he can coach up. He never just buys the like finished article. It's always about I can make you better. And I don't know if it's hubris because he wants to be the one to say that he unlocked a player that nobody rated, or if it's
Stop
just
shaving hoes, Arteta,
he
man.
doesn't have it. He just needed attackers that score goals. And the one that does, he can't get working. And the one he bought a winger that is known for not scoring. Like, please spare me. Like, you guys, please don't do this to me. Seriously. I like Mikel, by the way. Like, I want him to be the one, but if he ain't, he's got to go. Like,
I don't know about anyone else just yet, but I look at Arsenal as a family or a friendship circle. Why would you barefaced lie to your brethren? I am fond. Nobody could waffle about what Mikel Arteta is good at more than me. The difference is, I think some people are apologists. If you genuinely rate him, if you genuinely rate everything he's done, if you genuinely rate this team, and cool, people can laugh, we ain't won stuff, but we've had some big games in Europe. Last few years we've competed against those in this league, and we've done some things. Cool, we've been bantered about not getting over the line yet, but we finished in the last 3 years bordering on 4th, 2nd. So we're quite close. Why is it not fair to take all of this and say over the line? You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't big up man like this and then not ask why you're not getting. And the more time, we're not asked. We would love to be Real Madrid and all these things. There's been 4 years. You're telling me you can't bag one. We need to seize the present, and we ain't done that.
Yeah, I like. There's no way to revise history on Mikel. I think,
and this blip is horrible right now.
He's done such a good job, but sometimes you stay long enough to become a villain, and I stand on that. You know, he should leave. Look at that article that Arson did a couple of days ago, talking about how he stayed too long.
Exactly.
He's gonna derail everything if we just, and it's not just up to him, but the club need to be serious for like 5 seconds. If he doesn't win anything, he needs to pack his shit. Like, that's it.
And you know what's mad about it, Jess? Yeah, like Arteta, you are forward thinking, but people would talk about stuff. You have to reinvent yourself. Fair enough, you can call him a checkbook manager. Pepe's reinvented himself. Klopp did the same. Wenger did it from his beginning of his Arsenal career. And ironically, being forward thinking, adapting, being ahead of the class in that regards, that was what Wenger was great at. That was obviously what led to his demise because he didn't go and do that. Arteta, it's not, to us armchair experts, you're not changing anything. I'm sure there's probably little isms and schisms if I was part of the coaching stuff, but there's nothing of significance. You play a mid-block, deep block, you be somewhat spot on defensively. We'll move it down the left, we'll move it down the right. And I've said to you before, Jess, I'm not even against that. move it down the left, move it down the right. But you see, when it's time to go up the gears, you need to do that. But I do need to ask you, Jess, at the end of the day, it appears to be somewhat advantage City. Obviously, if they win against Newcastle, it would be obviously 2 points behind us. It is what it is. What are we saying? What do we do? How do we move from here?
It's too late to start talking about how do we do this. What could you change? He basically needs Havertz to play decent. And that guy is injured and injury prone, so it's dark. I mean, I would say at the very least, what he could do is sit Zubimendi and Timber down before he completely breaks them in half. Play Norgard for a couple games. I don't give a fuck if it's the North London Derby. I don't care if it's Chelsea. Norgard is like a captain of Brentford. Why can't he play in these games? At least he's in some semblance of form. Play him. Play White. Why is he just on the bench while Timber is just like flailing in the wind?
Use your squad.
Yeah, use your squad. And if there was ever a time to have started Eze, it was after he got those 2 assists against Wigan. And Arteta followed that up with playing Saka out of position, which that's what it was. He played him out of position instead of just playing Eze and Saka. He could have played Eze on the wing and Saka in the 10, or he could have just played Saka on the right and Eze in the 10.
Doesn't want to deviate away from his framework.
1 minute, just play normal and just try to at least reignite players that are like dead. Like, can you just try? Like, in I've been harsh on Eze, but if there was ever a time, it was after that fucking Wigan game, and he dropped him.
People are slagging off Eze yesterday. Obviously, everyone was shit, but I'm sorry, I find it very difficult to be throwing them kind of man under the bus. Like, they've come off the bench, bro. Like, and if we're, for me, I'll be real. Everybody's got to hold smoke, and I get it, but you lot talk about looking forward. You're talking about league finishes before Mikel. Something's got to change. We could get better, we could get worse, but you have to take a chance, because the alternative, if it maintains like this, and we hope that this is just a bad period in a sunny season where we win the title. So what, we're just going to do this every year? What is there to believe it's going to be different? Of course, we're going to bring in new players. And I don't even agree with this when everyone's like, oh, City are going to get better, Liverpool are going to get better. They've been saying it for 4 years. Everybody is going to aspire to get better. We do have a foundation. But what is this? What is this love affair? Like, as I said, I am the biggest, from a non-biased coaching philosophy, I'm the biggest Arteta fan. But I love my club more. There was Arsenal before him. There'll be Arsenal after him. And what if he walks? Because he said, I don't want to be here for 10 years. You're approaching 6 years now, 7
If you don't win anything, please go. Because at the very least, you just need to see change. And I feel like I don't think we can do another season of Mikel. I just don't. If he doesn't win, you need to change something. And maybe it is the case that you have a bunch of players that have never really won anything before, with a manager that's never really won anything before. Maybe having somebody that's actually won something at the helm would help, but it's giving the blind leading the blind. And I like Mikel, and he can still turn this around, but it's dark for him because none of his players are in form and they're crumbling.
It's one where there's no words. Like, there's no words, but one thing's for sure certain: if you keep doing the same things are going to happen. Who would you bring in to manage right now if you had the power? For me, Luis Enrique. Do you want 15 million a year? Do that for me, bro.
Yeah, I watched that. Like, and I get it. It's Champions League and it's whatever, but they went 2-0 down early against Monaco and just kept playing their game. He made an in-game. He had to take off one of his best players, I think, because Dembele got injured. He brought in Doué, and Doué was the one who basically turned that game around for them. I know that you can't always play the best football, but my goodness, sometimes the best defense is offense, and we just play some of the most risk-averse, negative, boring shit football that I've ever seen. And if we can't win with it, then scrap it and get a coach that can play at least a semblance of Arsenal football. I know that I've been the type of person that is not super attached to the style, because I feel like the Emirates era is totally separate to me than what I came in watching. So the Invincibles didn't play tiki-taka. So
They
I'm
played
not
good
looking
football,
for
but they
tiki
had
taka.
physical qualities to match it.
Yeah, but I feel like world-class elite attackers that play fast, attractive, attacking football, and a good sturdy defense. Because remember, we had still a top level defense, a great goalkeeper, two great center backs, two top level fullbacks. So I don't understand why we can't replicate that in 2026. I don't see why we can't replicate that. So I'm not looking for tiki taka, but my goodness, what we're watching is to make my eyes bleed.
Enjoy it a bit, man. Like
Yeah.
it just feels a bit lifeless. It's too much data. It's too much statistics. It's not
Yeah,
just
it's
lifeless and
hard.
enjoying playing with your friends. And do you know what? I see it on occasion. Literally, I saw it against Newcastle. I saw it against Wigan with Saka and Noni. I saw it literally whenever, not many, but when Odegaard and Eze have been on the pitch, I've seen it in moments and fragments, not on a consistent basis. I shouldn't be sat here with just a fellow Arsenal fan. Oh, but when do you think you saw attacking football? This and that. It's not making sense. Football's decided in both ends. We need to
Yeah.
get back to it, bro.
I
It's
saw